Can I just say, I've always been off by the game implying that this thing is equal parts cat and dog. Like, come on, it's a cat. I know it's like, oh, the name sounds like Bow Wow, and sure, it's got some dog-like features, but anyone who looks at this is gonna call it a cat, right? Wait, am I crazy? Now I kind of want to do a video where I just go out onto the street with a picture of a Meow Wow and ask people what kind of animal it is.
Challenge accepted. If all goes according to plan, this should be going up on or around Election Day. I hope all of you who are able to voted Harris instead of acting like a complete moron, but I digress. Here's a fun, light, breezy little nonsense video to help distract all of us from the encroaching dread of national and indeed global politics. Across my workplace, my neighborhood, and my subscribers, I managed to get my hands on a good couple hundred people who I managed to pose the central question of this video to. Is Meow Wow a cat or a dog? I was committed to originally opening this video with a few minutes of me asking people and getting results in camera, before I realized both that would be kind of a lot to edit and also way too much of an imposition for a complete stranger asking an objectively stupid question. What that means is you're just gonna have to take my word for these numbers. Hopefully, with just a few minutes of raw data analysis, we will put the most pressing dilemma of our time to bed and determine definitively if this character design gives more dog or more cat. Can Meow Wow live up to the name? Whether or not you agree with the final result, let me know your votes in the comments. Now, of course, it's me, so even in a completely no-pressure video like this one, there's gotta be some caveats. First thing of note is that I haven't done any work whatsoever to keep track of demographics. Keeping track of the votes was hard enough for what is, again, a stupid and meaningless joke video. All I can confidently say is that I'm pretty confident I'd asked more women than men when all was said and done, and that one of the voting pools might have skewed slightly more toward people of color than not. Secondly, if there were any votes for a unicorn cat or a unicorn dog, or some other mix of either of our two main options with a purely fictional creature, then those are going to be counted as dog and cat votes respectively. Finally, there's a slight margin for error here because I know that a few of the people I asked face-to-face are also subscribers, and possibly participated in the YouTube poll. If you're one of those, sound off in the comments and feel lucky that your vote was probably counted twice. And also, like and subscribe, by the way. Apparently YouTube likes it when I tell people to do that. Although, you know what? Screw YouTube. You know how I know YouTube's broken, actually? Because I allegedly have over 6,000 subs, and yet the YouTube poll I did for this question capped out at 72 total votes at the time of this recording. From that total 72, 31% or about 22 people leaned toward dog, with 14% or 10 people voting cat, and 56% or 40 people voting for something else. Somewhat unhelpfully, even though the poll prompts people to specify what they think it is if they took the something else option, very few people did. Those few included things like a seal narwhal hybrid, a dogacorn, which practically I'll count as a dog vote, but I found the compound word too funny to ignore. And funny enough, this section also included the single person in the entire poll who correctly identified the species as Dream Eater. Shout out to Ermanascrewed. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Moving on to votes tallied at my workplace. Among my coworkers, I was able to ask 15 people, 6 of whom voted dog, 8 of whom voted cat, and 1 of whom voted for ambiguous being. Among my students, voting was incredibly tight, with 66 going to dog and 64 going to cat. Believe it or not, for a little while, these votes were tied 63 to 63 until the last minute. Funny enough, either way, between the adults and the kids, we end the workplace section of the video with a tie of 72 on both sides, matching the total votes of the YouTube poll. I swear I didn't do that on purpose. Other votes among the student population included 9 for unicorn, 2 for pig, 1 for Pokemon, 1 vote for seal, 1 vote for both cat and dog, 1 vote for a hamster, 1 vote for cat dog specifically like the Nickelodeon cartoon. Shout out to whoever that kid was for having good taste. And finally, our biggest tally goes to the other in-person section, which included some very noteworthy individual results. Among this crop, we got 21 votes for both dog and cat, 4 votes for neither dog nor cat, 2 votes for robot dog, 1 vote for robot cat, 9 votes for unicorn, 2 more votes for pig, 3 more votes for Pokemon, 1 vote for a cow mixed with a potato, 1 vote for a blimp, 1 vote not for unicorn but specifically for unicorn thing, 1 vote for a Macy's Thanksgiving float, 1 vote for cow, 1 for dolphin, 1 for hippo, and 1 for an elephant cat. which I'll count for the cat tally, but elephant? Really? One person I asked actually incorrectly identified Meow Wow as a heartless, but kudos to that guy for getting close, you're cool. Of course, of our two primary options, this section ended up voting 131 for cat and 123 for dog. This section is also where I'm including some of the votes that I got from my close family members, including one more vote for a pig from my mom, a vote for a cat from my grandma, and one vote from my dad for, quote, I am very confused. So, rounding up our totals to all of the big noteworthy groups that got more than one vote, that gives us 4 votes for Pokemon, 5 votes for pig, 19, technically 20 votes for just a unicorn, 26 votes for some variation of both or neither, and not counting the poll voters who identified their choice in the comments, 48 votes for miscellaneous or ambiguous other creatures. And finally, taking all of the previous calculations into account, just narrowly avoiding a dead heat, we have a total of 218 votes for cat and 221 votes for dog. Honestly, I'm a bit surprised. The votes were so even for a really long time, and votes for cat actually overtook the lead before I factored in the YouTube poll. Anyway, the debate has now been put to rest. We can now definitively say that Meow Wow is more dog than cat, and if you disagree, go pound ground. In all seriousness, I hope you enjoyed this complete goof. If so, subscribe to see what I've got coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in what will hopefully be a Harris presidency.